YouTube, what's going on? It's your favorite Misfit FM. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hope you're having a fantastic weekend so far. Now, before hopping into the video, make sure you like, subscribe, do everything you can to support your favorite Misfit and your favorite station as you enjoy today's chapter review of the latest chapter of Boruto, Two Blue Vortex, chapter 19, titled Konohamaru-chan. For my initial take, check out Misfit Sasuke. Boom, little graphic here to show you the initial post that I put out the day of the chapter dropped. I'll give you my initial takes on what I thought about the chapter. This is a deeper dive as we get into it. And the theme of this chapter was love. Love was in the air, or the common theme of love was being questioned. Now on Jorah's side, we were getting more of like them thinking love was an enemy of poison that needs to be cured or find ways to overcome, because it can be a deadly weapon. When he used examples of when, way back when in the earlier chapters, when Shukucho basically got the belt by Jorah. Now, to be fair, in this sense, with the belt in that case, there was no shot they were going to win. Even Shikadai knew that. But again, when you care for people, you love them, you're going to do crazy things to protect them. And in the case of Shikadai and company, they did a lot. And no one thought they were going to win. Survive, yes, but win, there's no winning happening. If you had Shikadai and that crew beating Jorah of all people when he first initially came into the village and stuff, you're smoking. Like, there was no universe they were winning. But the idea that Jorah touches on love, how it made them do those actions to protect those they cared about. Yes, that is true. They do love each other. They do care for one another. And in this case, Inoji might be crushing a little bit on Konohamaru, which is interesting. But again, like I said, I mentioned this in previous videos last year. I don't see it unless he basically says he's in love with her, crush on her. But at the very least, he cares deeply for Konohamaru. That's cool. No problem with that at all. Now, here's my thing that I want to also highlight. With Jorah saying that love was something they need to overcome, I just think it's another example of the problem that they're going to always come through. One of the things I highlighted in my Misfit Sasuke post is one of the biggest weaknesses of the Shinju, which essentially is that they don't understand their emotions at all, or they have this idea that their instincts are telling them to do one thing, but reality, they're just following the flow of what any 10-tail wants to do, which is consume, because they think that will fill the void inside of them. But what happens if that void is fulfilled by absorbing those people that in their mind is the ones that will help them gain whatever knowledge or power up they may get? Usually in this scenario, you think a lot about it with revenge. When someone gets revenge, typically once they get it, they kind of like should feel okay, relief. No, most of the time they'll feel like a hole left inside of them, because now they spent all this time focusing on one thing and now it's gone. So what's next? Like, what is the next steps for them in the future? And the same principle you can say is for Jorah and company. Let's say they overcome love, then what? What happens then? What is there to kind of find and more of it? Like, the whole idea of human evolution is you're constantly learning, gaining new lessons, new perspectives, new stories to tell to your friends and family. For Jorah and his crew, they haven't had that yet. They just got born not too long ago, and they're following their instincts to tell them like, hey, we should go after these people so that we can learn more about the world. Also, because our instincts tells us to do. Like, I don't know, maybe you should calm down, hold the brakes. Like, Jorah, you're reading a lot of books. You're learning what the idea of love is, but you have no idea what it feels like. Or maybe you do. Maybe in this case, Matsuri has a feeling what it is, but we'll get to her in a second. But this overall theme of love that they showed in this chapter was a big arching point. I love that it falls within the same month of, again, Valentine's Day was the week before. They'll kind of flowed in next to each other, but I just love the idea that they're trying to experiment it and show the two different sides. Even Ada highlighted just the importance of like the connections that people make. Is you can't be okay with someone calling you one thing and thinking for this person it's gonna be cool, but for the other person that'd be cool. They're two different things, and it's understandable why Konohamaru felt uncomfortable. But like I said, I'm gonna get to Konohamaru at the end of this video, but I just want to highlight that. Moving on, I want to highlight again the side characters a bit. I mentioned this in my post. I also made a section of the video for it as well. The side characters development is important to any manga or any show, anime, manga, watch, read, whatever. It's important to develop your side characters. You need to build the world around the main characters. Again, the main characters, you can highlight them as much as you want, but when there's time for they're on the back seat, you need to highlight your side characters. Now, in this case, we're highlighting the new Gen-san siblings, which is cool to me. I mean, seeing the lodestone displayed was really cool. Seeing that little mini relationship between Arya and Yodo, hopefully I'm saying both their names right. That's cool to see. seeing Shinki come in with a brief conversation of a flashback, that's good to see. These are good things to have, and we need to keep having them because we need to develop more of the world around us that we can see connections being built, stories being developed, and opportunities for characters to show. Like, obviously, I'm not expecting to see guys from like the anime who's like mostly anime focused, like what's his name, like Metal Lee. Like, I don't expect them to see much in this manga, but like I just like seeing side characters get development in the main manga. It just makes sense to me, and I love it, man. That's not to say that you won't see a character like Metal Lee or Denki in the manga. It's just like they were mainly in the anime for a reason, and there's a reason why they kind of don't really play a role right now, because like their skill sets kind of, well, Denki maybe could help out in this case, but Metal Lee, I don't think Taijutsu is going to be helpful right now in our current predicaments. Either way, as someone who loves reading manga and loves when side characters get loved, I think it's very important to highlight your side characters because it helps build the world around you, helps just overall give you some more depth to go to when your main characters maybe in a pinch or is on the bench. In this case, Boruto, he can't move until certain things happen because we don't want to provoke Jorah. Now, this is where I see a scenario where someone that needs some W's here could take advantage of this and really capitalize and also showcase himself with his brand new form, aka Kaoki, if you haven't picked up on already, because he needs this. I really do think he needs this. He just needs a moment so that people who already talk ish on his name can just shut up and like, bro, he's good. Like, we all know Kaoki eventually will get good, but right now it's just a lot of people don't really have a lot of faith in him. From what I'm seeing, obviously this could be just an example of just seeing one thing on one platform and something on the other. Because like obviously on Instagram, most of the time I'll just see people like, Kaoki just needs a chance. But on Twitter, I think people just say Kaoki is trash, which I can't agree with that. But I do understand certain scenarios where he's looked like pretty below average, and I can't deny that. So I'm right in the middle. I want to give some hope to him. I think that he'll get his shine in the future chapter. Maybe next chapter we might make a surprise appearance, because it kind of leads to my final point that I want to highlight. And that final point is essentially, we need Konohamaru to survive this. Now look, I know I sound like a hypocrite. For the good last year, I've been making videos, I've been making posts, I've been saying anything in the world to say scenarios of who's going to get absorbed first, and I always said it was going to be Konohamaru, or I was saying something like Gaara, but I was like, I think Gaara might actually die if they don't get to him in time. But in Konohamaru says he might actually get absorbed. Now, the reason why I don't want Konohamaru to get absorbed is because of the scenario I have in my mind. So let me take you on a journey real quick. I want Konohamaru to get saved by Kawaki from Matsuri, and then Kawaki to just start cooking Matsuri, right? Now, the reason why I want this to happen is because Kawaki, again, needs a W, and this is a perfect way of him getting a W. Taking out Matsuri, and then maybe going to assist with Ryu, or maybe Sadara and that company get saved by Boruto. I don't know, but like Kawaki needs a W, and this is a perfect way for him to get a W by saving Konohamaru from getting cooked. Now, in hindsight, is this something to really think about as a good idea to have, or will it happen? I don't know. This is just my prediction, but I think where Konohamaru right now is, he's obviously going to get pretty cooked. Like, look, Konohamaru is not a type of shinobi to really like tread the line when it comes to his emotions. He kind of wears his heart on his sleeve. He's very straightforward, or tries to be at the very least. But for what Shikamaru was asking him to do, I clearly knew that he was never going to fully commit to that. He's not the type of person to really go into like doing the line manipulation of a shinobi. He's not a Kakashi. He's not a Sasuke. He's not any of those characters that you know could do it. Now, that kind of, and also to be fair, I get that the shorty was a copy of his friend, but he has to also understand that fine line of understanding, play the role you are in so that you can benefit for future times. In this case, if he just lied and committed to the bit, he could have really just saved his own self. But fortunately, Konohamaru might be screwed here unless he has some magic way to get himself out of that. Like I said, Kawaki, this is your opportunity to do some crazy stuff right now. And I would really be hoping for him to kind of come in and do that thing for him. But like I said, this scenario for Konohamaru, and see how Matsuri's feeling, because again, it goes back to the same thing I said at the beginning about love. Just because Matsuri absorbs him, her feelings won't go away. They'll still be there. They might just heighten, because then it's like the person you're a clone of clearly is in love with the guy. What's gonna happen when you absorb him? Let me tell you, unless she goes to some sadistic, crazy form where she feels like, oh, we're one now, so I can stop feeling these feelings. Like, no, just because you're one now doesn't mean you just don't see him anymore. Just because you absorbed him, maybe you get some new transformation. Again, great, but you will still feel those emotions. You might start to feel regret, pity, sadness. And you know, that could be a weird angle where they can try to turn her into a good person and then she ended up getting killed by some random unforeseen coincidence. But this is something that we need to highlight. In a nutshell, these Senjus at the end of the day are not really thinking on what this is going on here. They're going off an instinct. An instinct could just be like a gut feeling. It could be just really what the heart's saying. They're just not thinking really well enough. So I think this is definitely going to play a factor in future chapters with kind of making conflictions with them. It could end up turning one of them to the side of the shinobi too, because of who it might be. I would go with either Matsuri or I might go with Sasuke's clone, but Sasuke's clone is a little bit of a odd box. So Matsuri is a more obvious choice because I think she's the most conflicted, especially because she's interacting the most with someone like Konohamaru. But hey, at the end of the day, those are just my takes. Like I said, overall, this chapter to me, if I had to sum it up in terms of my ratings, I gave it a solid 7.5 out of 10. Really enjoyed a lot of the fight scenes that were drawn out. Really thought they were really detailed. And that's about going to be it for me, guys. So thank you guys so much for watching. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your weekend. And thank you for tuning in to your favorite station on YouTube. I'm checking out. Peace out. Peace, love, and positivity, guys. I will see you guys again here next weekend. And I'll tell you some good news about my personal life, too. So be on the lookout for that. Take care. Peace.